California. You know, somebody who wants to claim that there's an anti-tax, pro-life, pro-gun rhino in California, I say if you're willing to call yourself unabashedly conservative in a deep blue state like California, then how are you not the real deal when you are all these things that we just listed that you would think traditionally, yes, a conservative, a Republican would stand for. I don't like to see the candidate discredited just because some are more supportive of another in the candidate race. We want to elect principled candidates and principled conservatives. The key word is elect. And in November, folks, that is what it's all about. It's about taking the gavel away from Harry and Nancy. Nomination to a really bad rhino, then that's not going to help the cause to shrink government's overreach. And I'm going to jump in and make sure that the conservative with the best shot at winning gets as much help as I can. Others may disagree with that tactic, and that's okay too. And I'm sure not saying though that we should abandon our principles to win. Not at all. We're looking for principled conservatives who won't pull a bait and switch on us once they get to D.C. And our politicians had better not sell out their principles in order to reach across the aisle. This bipartisan talk, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Bipartisanship sounds really nice, but it should not be a goal in and of itself. So I caution you, if you hear a politician running on that, that he's just all going to be or she all about bipartisanship, you got to wonder, okay, where's the backbone though? Where are the principles here? You can anticipate that the other side of the aisle will propose policies that violate our values and our conscience and our Constitution. I don't want to hear that somebody's willing to hook up with folks who think that that's all okay. Reagan didn't govern with the singular goal of being bipartisan. He fought for common sense conservative principles, and then he invited the other side to join him. He wasn't worried about offending them either. In fact, he enjoyed poking fun at them. I remember reading that once he asked if he felt any responsibility for the sorry state of the economy, and he said, yes, because I was once a Democrat. In the last guidance set out to specifically be bipartisan simply for the sake of being bipartisan, I set out to push for the best policies for my state, like comprehensive ethics reform and ramped up responsible resource development and living within our means. But in trying to work across the aisle, I mean, even within your own party, you never know what you're going to get. I vetoed some of Obama's stimulus funds because they had fat strings attached to them to our state. If the state was going to be mandated to do things that the federal government had no right to tell a state to do if we accepted the funds, so I vetoed some of them. My veto was overridden by a Republican-led legislature because they just wanted to believe that this was all free money somehow. And then I sued the feds for some bogus global warming claims that were being made, and of course now we feel kind of vindicated after that issue. It was the Democrats that tried to run me out of town. You never know what you're going to get, but you don't have to compromise your principles to get things done. You argue the merits of your idea, and when you're right, you bring the people along with you. The other side may refuse to budge because of personalities, power struggles within, and short-sightedness, but you can always go right to the people. Again, that's what Reagan did. If the other side refuses to listen to the wisdom of the people, then you empower the people. You empower them to let them know, okay, if you don't like what your politician's doing, then you fire them by funding and supporting grassroots candidates who will listen to the will of the people and represent their interests. The hard left in D.C. stopped listening to us, and they ignored honest bipartisan efforts and intentions. So we're going to give them their pink slips, and that's what we're looking forward to. together this fall. And we've got to work as if the fate of our country and our children is solely dependent on what it is that we do here, because it is dependent on these elections. This year's midterm elections will be the turning point in our history, and Chicago can show us how to do it right. Destiny as we march towards November, and we do need everyone's help in this. If you remember only one thing after this evening, I would ask that you remember that now more than ever, America needs your voice. Please don't get discouraged. Please don't sit it out. Don't let anybody tell you to sit down and shut up. Be bold. Trust me, as your spine is stiffened, as you stand up for what you know is right for this country, you're going to look around and you're going to realize you're helping to stiffen the spines of others around you. We need your voice more than ever, and we need your actions more than ever. Friends, our nation's hope doesn't lie in D.C. It lies in you. It lies in the everyday, average, hardworking, patriotic American who wants to protect our Constitution because we know it is our roadmap.
Amen.
In you lies the more perfect union that we are destined to become. It's true that we do have a lot of work to do before we get there, but we will get there. We will get there. God has shed His grace on thee, and we'll get there because our vision for America is anchored in That's the truth, that America is exceptional. There's no other nation on earth like America. Was crafted not for government to give us our rights. Our inalienable rights are given us from God. Our Constitution So our vision is based on the belief that the government that governs least governs best. Yes. Provides that path towards a more perfect union, and that only limited government can provide that opportunity for prosperity equally for all. Only limited government. And that time tests truth that freedom is a God-given right, and freedom is worth fighting for. America's finest are men and women in uniform. They are, of course, for good throughout the world, and that's nothing to apologize. Made America the greatest, most voluntarily generous, most prosperous, the healthiest country on earth. And those are the principles that will usher in a new era of American prosperity.